The Devil's Dog. I regret the night I had heard the story. I had gone to a party with my best friend Angeline. It was our friend's little sister's 21st birthday. Needless to say, we got drunk, danced, and partied. We busted out the bud and had a good time. It was when we went outside to smoke and enjoy the cool summer air that Angeline started to act weird and freak out. She pointed across the street, staring hard. "You see that?" "See what?" I asked, taking a hit of bud. I watched the smoke curl up from between my lips slowly. "I'm a fucking dragon." But Angeline wasn't paying attention. "Under the tree. There. You see?" "Under the tree. There. You see?" I squinted, but didn't see anything but a tree across the way. "Nope." Angeline licked her lips and moved nervously. "I think it's an animal." "This must be some good shit," I said, laughing, but she didn't laugh with me. Just kept staring, silently, till it freaked me out too. "Hey, do I need to take you home? You can't be that messed up." She was quiet. "Do you remember those stories? The ones about the devil's dog?" "Angeline, those are stories to scare children, to keep us from doing shit like this," I said, holding up the weed. She nodded. "Yeah, those are stories, but it was based on a different tale." I took another hit and offered her some, but she refused. She just kept staring across the street. I thought she needed the hit and to calm down, but I wouldn't force her. "The story was that the person who saw it had to keep looking," she said. "Or what? It shat on your porch?" Angeline clenched her fist. She wouldn't even risk glaring at me. "Or they were eaten, taken away, dragged to hell, whatever. That shit, okay?" "Alright, jeez. How do you even know if you see it? Wasn't it supposed to be some kind of invisible monster dog thing?" "The eyes. It always stays hidden, but you can see its eyes reflecting the light, like two round golf balls." I took another drag and heard Angeline whimper. "It's staring at me." "Hey, calm down. There isn't anything there." I shook her shoulder. "Just come in the house. No more drinking for you." She shook me off and yelled, "No! I can't look away." "You don't know. You're being really weird, dude. Killing my buzz. Can't we just go in and chill?" I was cursing Tasha for giving us whatever it was we smoked at this point. After 10 more minutes of standing in the cold, I had enough. I pulled Angeline and turned her away. She screamed at me and scratched at my arm as if she had turned feral. "Ow! You bitch, that hurt!" But she ignored me and turned back to the tree. I held my arm and watched as Angeline began to shake. "What now?" She looked devastated. "It's gone." She turned teary eyes to me. It's all your fault." We left the party that night with Angeline giving me the silent treatment. After 3 days of no talking, Angeline stopped showing up to class. I figured she just had a cold, and when she got better, the whole thing would blow over. But a few days later, Angeline's mother called me and told me she wasn't answering her phone or email, nor been seen at work. Even her roommates hadn't seen her. They said she had gone missing and were ready to file a police report. Had she run away? A psychotic break? I should have told someone about the party, but I hadn't. Angeline had told me it was my fault. I could have played into her fantasy, comforted her, hung out in the cold for 10 more minutes. Now my best friend was gone. I decided to file a police report myself. After work, I went down to the station, ready to confess everything. At 9 o'clock, the station was surprisingly empty and quiet save for a few officers. I went to the front desk. "I'd like to file a police report for a missing person." The woman at the desk was hard-faced. "How long has the person been missing?" "I don't know, like 4, maybe 5 days. Her name is Angeline Morales. She hasn't showed up for school. Are you sure she hasn't run off with a boyfriend? She doesn't have one. You sure? I wanted to yell it in her face. That Angeline wouldn't do that. Alright. Fill out these papers. She slid some forms to me and I took them. I sat down and went to work. It took about 30 minutes to get done. When I handed them back to the woman, who didn't even look them over. So, when's the search party? She eyed me. Was that a joke? I was totally serious. Go home and get some rest, kid. I bit my lower lip and choked back my words, then turned around and left. There wasn't much parking around the station, so I was down the block. I walked, full of worry, when I heard a whisper in my name. Kate. Kate. A feminine figure ducked back from the mouth of an alley, a figure I recognized. Angeline? I ran towards the alley and turned into it, but most of it was dark and empty. I walked a few feet in, peering at the boarded-up windows and dark conclaves. Angeline? I was so sure I had heard her and saw her, but I had enough of the alleyway. I turned to leave and froze. I saw something in the dark archway of the back entrance. 2 round orbs sitting perfectly. The only way that I knew it belonged to something was that the body of whatever it was darker than the shadows and hunched low, like a crouching cat. Except, I knew this wasn't a cat. And those orbs were eyes, watching me. Kate? I heard Angeline behind me and turned, but there was no one. My body went cold. I didn't mean to look away. As I turned to look back at the thing hiding in the shadows, the street lamps blew out. Night enveloped the alley like a cloak of darkness. I stood there, blind, unable to move, but the sounds of my hurried breath and soft growling.